the creepiest reasons that I think Jack the Ripper could have been Edgar Degas, painter of ballerinas, is that in 1914, Degas published this sonnet written about Marie von Gotham, the 14-year-old girl who generally posed without clothes. This poem reads like a confession. You've been following my videos on whether this guy could be Jack the Ripper. Thank you. You may have seen the videos I made when I first found these sonnets, before I started trying to learn French, and before it was brought to my attention by native speakers that the translations by academics were leaving out the dirty parts. Actually, two versions of the sonnet, the one published after his death, in the book by Degas' friend and art historian Paul Lafont. And then there's the version published in 1914 with Degas' own approval during Degas' lifetime. And that one is just wrong. And this, of course, is the one that academians like to translate into English. Meta pointed out several sus lines in particular. This one, je te veux, this is Google Translate's literal translation of it, but academics are trying to twist the meaning to say, I want for you, I, as a famous person, a famous life. But Meta pointed out that je te veux does mean I want you, as in I want to you. And at first I was like, okay, well it means that now, but did it mean it then? But it only took a few minutes research to discover that it meant the same thing in Degas' lifetime. Because Je te veux is the title of an erotic waltz. It was very popular at the turn of the century. And the lyrics are a touch scandalous. This was a popular song, but was originally performed at La Scala. Degas lived in Montmartre, and that was only a long walk away. And there were other creepy parts of the 1914 version that academics are just glossing over. In the final stanza, there's an ellipsis after the word night, a suggestive trailing off. And Meta, the native French speaker, suggests that we're supposed to wonder why he's listening to her steps at night. Perhaps he's chasing her. But of course, it's still the next line that will always haunt me. For my well-known tastes, I wish to preserve the smell of your fruit. Because as I've said before, in the 19th century, wax was used to preserve organs. And Jack the Ripper stole organs, including the heart of Mary Jane Kelly, the most mysterious of his victims. And with no known images of her before her death, with the mutilation that occurred during, you can only make strange guesses as to what she looked like. Maybe she looked a little something like the little dancer, who would have been the same age, and who disappeared from historical record a year before Mary Jane Kelly appeared. And as for the statue, by some accounts it remained in Degas' bedroom until his death. In this version of the poem, Je te veux was removed, but he said instead, I want for you to know no love but the love of dance. Ugh.